You are driving behind a motorcycle and want to pass. You must A. Stay in the right lane as much as possible because the motorcycle is small and doesn't use all of the lane. B. Blow your horn to make the motorcycle move onto the shoulder so that you can pass. C. Have your vehicle entirely in the left lane before and during the pass. C. Have your vehicle entirely in the left lane before and during the pass. When passing a motorcycle, allow a full lane to the motorcycle. Never crowd into the same lane as the motorcycle. Returning to the original lane too soon can force a rider to swerve to the right and into traffic or off the road. When driving behind another vehicle at night, you should A. Keep your headlights on the low beam setting. B. Use your high beam headlights until you are within 10 feet of the vehicle ahead. C. Use your high beam headlights. A. Keep your headlights on the low beam setting. Use high beam headlights only when driving in rural areas and when other cars are not nearby. Lower your headlights to their low beam setting when you are following closely behind another driver. You are on the freeway and traffic is merging into your lane. You should A. Make room for the merging traffic, if possible. B. Assert your right-of-way by driving faster. C. Always maintain your position. A. Make room for the merging traffic, if possible. When traffic permits, you should make room to allow vehicles to merge into your lane. You are required to stop your vehicle. A. At any intersection where a police officer orders you to stop. B. Where there is a red traffic light. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. You must come to a complete stop at a steady or flashing red traffic light. You must always obey instructions given by officers directing traffic, regardless of any posted signs or traffic signals.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
A solid yellow line on your side of the centerline means A. Reduce your speed. B. Traffic light ahead. C. Do not pass. C. Do not pass. Solid yellow lines on two-lane roads indicate zones where passing is prohibited. If a solid yellow line appears next to a broken yellow line, drivers in the lane nearest to the solid yellow line may not pass. In some instances, both yellow lines will be solid, indicating that it is not safe to pass from either direction. This sign means A. Yield the right-of-way. B. No passing zone. C. Reduction in lanes. A. Yield the right-of-way. A triangular red and white sign indicates that you must yield the right-of-way. When driving on an interstate, to avoid traffic merging from on-ramps to your right, the best thing to do is to A. Change lanes to the left. B. Slow down. C. Maintain your speed and position. A. Change lanes to the left. When driving on an interstate highway, be aware of upcoming on-ramps. When traffic permits, move out of the right-hand lane to allow vehicles to enter from the on-ramps to your right. When driving under snowy or icy conditions. A. It is safe to use your cruise control. B. Make speed and directional changes more gradually than you would otherwise. C. Drive as you would under normal conditions. B. Make speed and directional changes more gradually than you would otherwise. When driving under snowy or icy conditions, you should make speed and directional changes gradually. Never use cruise control when driving on snow or ice because your tires may lose contact with the road and you will lose control of your vehicle. This white sign means you should not pass other vehicles. A. Until after you pass the sign. B. Unless it seems safe to do so. C. For any reason. C. For any reason. A white rectangular sign indicates that you must obey the stated rule. This sign means that drivers should not pass other vehicles for any reason. Which statement is true? A. You should put on your cruise control near a railroad crossing to maintain a constant speed. B. You must stop at a railroad crossing when directed to do so by a flagger or stop sign. C. You have the right of way at a railroad crossing and do not need to stop. B. You must stop at a railroad crossing when directed to do so by a flagger or stop sign. You must stop at a railroad crossing when directed to do so by a flagger, stop sign, or warning signal. Use caution when driving near railroad tracks. A distraction when driving is A. Anything that causes evasive action while driving. B. Anything that takes your attention away from driving. C. Anything that causes you to pay more attention to driving. B. Anything that takes your attention away from driving. A distraction when driving is anything that takes your attention away from driving. Driver distractions may occur anytime and anywhere. Distracted driving can cause collisions, resulting in property damage, injury, and death. Collisions are more likely to happen when A. All vehicles are traveling at about the same speed. B. One lane of traffic is traveling faster than the other lanes. C. One vehicle is traveling faster or slower than the flow of traffic. C. One vehicle is traveling faster or slower than the flow of traffic. Collisions are more likely to happen when one driver moves faster or slower than the other vehicles on the road. Driving faster than other traffic increases your chance of being involved in a collision. Driving more slowly than other traffic is also dangerous because it can increase the risk of a rear-end collision with your vehicle or cause other drivers to swerve to avoid hitting you. If you come to an intersection controlled by a flashing yellow light, you must A. Wait for the green light before proceeding. B. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. C. Stop before crossing the intersection. When should drivers use hand-over-hand steering? A. When turning the wheel during normal driving activity. B. When backing or when momentarily turning on blinkers, the radio, or windshield wipers. C. When turning the wheel at low speeds to make a sharp turn. C. When turning the wheel at low speeds to make a sharp turn. When turning a sharp corner, turn the steering wheel by using the hand-over-hand technique. When you complete the turn, straighten out the steering wheel by hand. If your car's suspension is bad, it can cause A. Vehicle control problems. B. Squealing brakes. C. Slack in the steering. A. Vehicle control problems. Your suspension helps you control your vehicle and provides a comfortable ride over varying road surfaces. If your vehicle bounces a lot after driving over a bump, or is generally hard to control, you may need new suspension parts. When a bicyclist is making a left turn, A. They may use the left lane. B. They may cut through all lanes. C. They may wait on the side of the road. A. They may use the left lane. You should expect to see bicyclists driving with traffic on the road. You should not be surprised to see a bicyclist using the left lane when turning. This sign means A. Two-way traffic. B. Change in direction ahead. C. School zone and crossing. A. Two-way traffic. This sign informs drivers that they are leaving a divided roadway and approaching a two-way highway. What is the purpose of rumble strips? A. They alert drivers to potential tire problems. B. They test a vehicle's shock absorbers. C. Through vibration and sound, they alert inattentive drivers to the fact that their vehicles have left the travel lane. C. Through vibration and sound, they alert inattentive drivers to the fact that their vehicles have left the travel lane. Rumble strips create noise and vibrations to warn drowsy or inattentive drivers that they are straying off of the road or are approaching a stop sign or signal. When approaching a stopped school bus that has its stop signal arm extended and its lights flashing, drivers should A. Come to a complete stop and wait to proceed. B. Honk their horn before passing the bus on its left. C. Continue driving when they think most kids are done exiting the bus. If you are continually being passed on the right and the left while driving in the center lane of an expressway, you should A. Stay in the center lane. B. Move to the lane on your right. C. Move to the lane on your left. B. Move to the lane on your right. If a road has 4 or more lanes with two-way traffic, drive in the right lanes unless you are passing or turning left. If you are on an interstate highway and are driving below the speed of the flow of traffic, use the right lane. At an intersection with stop signs on all corners, yield the right of way to any driver. A. On your left. B. Who arrived before you. C. Across from your vehicle. B. Who arrived before you. After coming to a full stop, vehicles should proceed through a four-way stop in the order in which they arrive to the intersection. If multiple vehicles arrive at the same time, the vehicle on the left must yield the right of way to the vehicle on the right. Drivers must use their parking brake. A. Only when parked on an incline. B. Only when parked in a parking lot. C. Every time they park. C. Every time they park. Always set your parking brake when you park. Leave the vehicle in gear if it has a manual transmission or in park if it has an automatic transmission. When driving in fog, it is best to drive with A. High beam headlights. B. Low beam headlights. C. Four-way flashers. B. Low beam headlights. Use your low beam headlights when driving in fog, rain, or snow. High beam lights can reflect off the weather conditions, lowering visibility even more. slowing down just to look at collisions or anything else out of the ordinary. A. Causes traffic congestion. B. Prevents rear-end collisions. C. Improves traffic flow by preventing collisions. A. Causes traffic congestion. Avoid rubbernecking, or slowing down to look at collisions or anything else out of the ordinary. This helps to relieve traffic congestion. When driving at night on a dimly lit street, you should A. Drive slowly enough that you can stop within the area illuminated by your headlights. B. Turn on your high-beam headlights to better see the vehicles ahead of you. C. Keep the instrument panel lights bright to be more visible to other drivers. A. Drive slowly enough that you can stop within the area illuminated by your headlights. You should drive more slowly at night than during the day because it is not possible to see as far ahead at night. You should make sure that you can stop within the area illuminated by your headlights.